right, so welcome back to the program. It's still the scorecard edition of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. My name is Ginika Olo, and joining me here in the studio is the general manager and the chief executive of Abia State Road Traffic and Safety Management Agency, Timass, otherwise known as Timass, Colonel Ezichi Carlo, retired. Good morning, Colonel. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Kenny, for having me.
All right. Welcome. Now, let us start with knowing the mandate of your agency according to the law establishing it. You know that there's a law establishing that agency. So looking at that law, what exactly is the mandate of your agency?
Coming from, if you look at His Excellency's, promise to Abians, one of the promises he made was prosperity. How do you create that prosperity? One of the ways we can create that, he wants to create that prosperity is to ensure that our road is free, our road is safe for people to come in and do their business.
Okay.
So in other words, our core mandate is to ensure free flowing of traffic, safety of passengers and Abians. By so doing, people will come in, people will come to invest, there will be job, and there will be prosperity for Abians. That's basically what our mandate is all about.
Now, going by that mandate, let's also look at upon assumption of your office, I mean yourself, what exactly did you meet on ground? I know that you've been trying to put one or two things in terms of reorganizing that particular agency, the programs for the agency. But what exactly did you meet on ground upon assumption of office?
An assumption of office, we met an agency in law that existed,
Okay.
but on ground there was absolutely nothing. So it's like starting from the scratch. You know, we did not meet anything. There was no framework, there was no regulatory framework, and there were no leadership everywhere. No, nothing. The agency, the staff were divided. There were no leadership. There were no direction. You met people that were demoralized and lack all ethics, to do their work. So it was like starting from the scratch, getting them oriented, getting them, understand the work ethics, getting them to know that things they were doing before are no longer acceptable. So basically, that's just what we've done so far.
Okay, in terms of what other ideas are you bringing to the fore? Because I know that just like you said, when you came on board, you actually met an organization that lacks sense of direction and all that. So apart from that, what are you bringing on board, to make sure that your administration actually reorganize that agency? Because it's a very, very, very significant agency that Abians want to see. We see them everywhere. Your officials are everywhere, especially on the road. But what are you bringing to the table to make sure that you reorganize that agency?
Okay, like I said, when we came on board, we met staff that were demoralized, that lacked direction. So first and foremost, we needed to know what we have on ground. So the first thing we did was to verify what we have on the ground, understand the gap, what we need to be able to do our work effectively. Thereafter, we will try to retrain them, reorientate them, make them what they were doing before was not what we intend to do this time around. Then thereafter, by his grace of His Excellency, he was gracious enough to approve takeoff fund, which has enabled us to get the structures in place, regulatory framework, equipment. If you look around, you could see there are power bikes. We bought them. Their vehicles. Then you could see that they look neater, unlike before. You could see they look more seriously. Like Raleigh said, what are the new innovations that I bring on board. If you go to our office, we'll have a monitoring room where we leverage on technology. As we speak now, I can monitor all my staff wherever they are. We know when you come. If you come late, we'll be able to monitor you.
Okay.
If you are not properly positioned, we'll monitor you.
You have that technology?
Yes. See, real online now. Even though we are not there, all the critical points, we install IPCs. If you go to the what do you call it, in front of Government House, down to the Bank Road, we monitor what goes on there. If you go to Opera Roundabout, our staff, we're monitoring them. If you FM and EC Gate and all those places, we monitor our staffs. So we also monitor the traffic pattern and trends so that we know when you need assistance, we'll send people to help. So basically, those are some of the innovations we'll introduce. And secondly, like our bikes and vehicles, we'll track them. If we are telling you go to EC Gate and you pass EC Gate, we are monitoring, we'll call you back and say, what are you doing there? Okay, so these are some of the innovations we've introduced. We are not yet there, but I guess by the end of first quarter, we should have been able to cover the whole Umuahia. Okay? So those are the innovations we've introduced so far.
Do you also monitor traffic offenders as well? Take, for instance, the what's it called? The tricyclists and even commercial motorists as well. Do you stay in your office to monitor what is happening? Not only your staff this time around, I mean motorists, maybe if somebody is derailing or rather running against traffic and all that. Do you monitor that as well?
No, like I said, we're not yet there.
Okay.
Yeah, what happens is this. We have an enforcement team that goes around, if you park wrongly, if you park where you are not supposed to park, they will apprehend you. Okay. So, we also have the traffic people. Basically, their job is just to control traffic. So, in our office, we have two teams. The traffic control team and the enforcement team. So that's what the enforcement will enforce, making sure people park at the proper place, people are not wrongly parked. That there's the question he asks if we can monitor vehicles and all that. What we intend to do, we are working on it. I'm sure in the next first quarter we should be there. We want to achieve what you normally see when you get outside the country, the big vehicles coming into the town in the daytime to cause obstructions. What we intend to do is to make sure that we are at the entry points of all the contiguous states.
Okay.
We are making arrangements. We've already gotten the containers and some other thing to build where people will stay. Okay. So what we intend to achieve is that to make sure big vehicles, earth-moving equipment don't come into the town during the day. Probably from 9, they can come in, do whatever, or pass through. Thereafter, no. Now you are asking if we are monitoring them. We are going to mount IPC's cameras. So all the vehicles coming into the Abia State, we are going to monitor them and make sure that the big vehicles they are not supposed to, they are not right there. So some of these things we are doing is not just to monitor, it's also form part of security architecture of the state. Because when you monitor, like you say, some of these places, you see movement of people, you see if there are any infractions there, then you can play back in case if there's any problem. So it's not just to monitor and traffic control and the traffic pattern. It's also part of the state security architecture.
What are you doing as regards to the issue of touting? Because when you look around, I don't know if you've seen them, the touts, they are back on the street again, obstructing traffic. And you are there to make sure that there's orderliness on the road, especially with traffic and all that. But those touts, are they from you? Did you send them to obstruct traffic or maybe collect some kind of revenue from those motorists? Or what exactly are you doing with these touts that are obstructing traffic on the road?
I want to assure you that people from ASMA will make sure they are in uniform, so that when you see them, you identify them that they are not touts. So if you see anybody in Mufti, that means it's not part of us.
Okay.
So anybody in Mufti, you can call him out. But for asthma, those enforcement team, they're all in uniform. And if you look at them, they also have name tags. In case if there's anything you feel they are not doing right, you can always pick up their name tag.
But you know that these people obstruct traffic, and you are there to maintain traffic.
Yeah.
And they are obstructing your work. What are you supposed to do in this regard?
I had a meeting with the local government chairman or the mayor 2 days ago. The idea of our meeting is for us to sit down and see areas of where our work overlap each other, then be able to say, look, this is your job, this is your job, so that the kind of thing you're talking about wouldn't come up. Like I said, I'm now aware of any tout on it. If you see any tout, that means it does not belong to my organization. My organization will make sure for people to identify them. They are in uniforms. Okay? So we are working towards that. And before the week runs out, we agreed that myself and the mayor of Umwe, we agreed that my head of operation and head of operation, they are going to sit together and streamline things so that those people who called out will be either if they are from the local government, they'll be properly recognized. Like I said, us, they're all in uniform. Okay, so those are the way we need to make sure that we don't see doubts or people walk decently.
Now, does your agency collect revenue? Take, for instance, if there are traffic offenders, do you penalize them? What exactly do you do to them? How do you generate revenue? That is, if you do actually.
Okay. Yes, we do. But the ultimate is not just to collect revenue. I think His Excellency's ultimate aim or restructuring of our agencies to make sure that there are order, there are safety on the roads. However, if there's any infractions, that does not mean we wouldn't do that. So, like I said, the aim is not to generate the money. The aim is to make sure there's orderliness and safety on the road. Yes, we generate money, but it is not the ultimate.
You penalize offenders.
Yes.
So if
wrongly parked, blocking roads, like big vehicle not strapping whatever you are carrying, is part of the safety aspect of it. So those are the areas who can.
So if you catch somebody, or rather, you arrest a traffic offender, what do you do exactly?
If you park wrongly, they are going to impound their vehicle. They are going to give you a ticket. Like before, you were talking about tout or the last administration. I think the aim was basically to collect money, not really to make sure there's orderliness in our road. Okay. Now, what we do now, if there's an infraction or you block the road, they will give you tickets. When they give you tickets, you go to the office and pay. And it goes straight to a single treasury account. So there's no room for...
You don't give the money by hand?
No, not at all, not at all.
Is it that you go to the bank or pay or...
For now, you're going to the bank, but we are training people that you come, you pay through the POS, you go straight to the single treasury account.
Okay.
But now when you come, we'll give you a ticket, use that ticket, there's a specific account. So in my organization, nobody touches money. So you go straight to the bank.
I see that there are bus stops here and there. I know that's also your mandate. What is your organization or your officials doing to make sure that this indiscriminate dropping and picking passengers in undesignated bus stops here and there, especially among tricyclists and even some commercial motorists? What are you doing in this regard?
Like I said, we have an enforcement team. Basically, that enforcement team, their work is to ensure that you park at the designated areas. You don't pick up this thing. Like I said, we are not yet there. We need to mark most of these places. As of now, we're not completed marking everywhere because of the construction going on here and there. Okay. By the time we achieve that, then it will be easier to enforce total compliance. But now, it is not possible.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you talk about some uncompleted road project. Take, for instance, the one that is ongoing at Osa. You know, because that it has been happening even before the construction work started. You know, the motorists, I mean, the cyclists, what's it called? Tricyclists. They normally pick and drop indiscriminately, and I don't think your men were doing much to control that. But even right now, they are still doing it. I don't know. You said it's after the construction and all that, but I think there should be some level of control right now, pending when they they finish up with that project.
Yeah.
Because if you look along that road, that Osa road, early in the morning, you see school children trying to cross over, and you see tricyclists, dropping and picking. This kind of a thing can cause accident. Are you not bothered that your men are not doing enough to check that?
Like I said, we are not yet there. We are just starting. Secondly, like I told you, when we came, we did our verification. Okay? The number are not there. I guess by the time the new budget cycle starts, we should be able to recruit enough hands to assist us. So, like I told you that when we came, we did our verification. Okay. That verification, the gap, we discovered that the number we require to be effective, we are not yet there. Like I said, once the budget starts, we should be able to recruit people. By the time we recruit, there will be improvement.
Okay, if you're just joining us, it's still the scorecard edition of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. My guest is the General Manager and Chief Executive of Abia State Road Traffic and Safety Management Agency, otherwise known as Timass. That's what people know it as. That is, I'm talking about retired Colonel Ezichi Carlo. He's here in the studio, and he's saying a whole lot as regards to the activities of his agency. We'll take a breather now. When we come back, there are other issues to talk about as regards to the activities of this particular agency. Please do stay with us. All right, so welcome back to the program. It's all the scorecard edition of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. My name is Ginika Olwaha. Retired Colonel Ezichi Carlo, the General Manager and Chief Executive of Abia State Road Traffic and Safety Management Agency, is my guest, and he's very much here in the studio. Welcome back to the program, Colonel. Now, let us look at the issue of harassment and extortion of motorists by some of your officials, especially in Umuahia and Aba. They've been this complaint. We've been receiving them here. Sometimes they will run to us here and say that Timass officials are extorting them. And I want to know, what are you doing, especially to make sure that some of, or rather all your officials and men on the road are well disciplined to stop all this extortion and harassment of motorists?
I wouldn't say my men are extorting. When we started this program, I told you part of the things we did when we took over was to retrain them, give them orientation, give them do's and don'ts. And I told you again that we leverage on technology. We monitor our staff. All of them, they're all aware that they are being monitored. So the issue of extortion is completely out of it. For us to do our job better, or if there's such an infraction, we have our toll line.
Okay.
You can, like I told you, most of them, they all have their, if you look at them, they have an tag.
Okay.
If you observe such thing, you can call us. You can call us on 09122 012233. Once again, 09122 012233. Our second free toll, our second line, 09122 12277. Once again, 09122 012277. Those two numbers to help us serve you better. Wherever you see any of our men misbehaving, not properly dressed, extorting money, call us on that line. We'll all respond.
Okay, good. Now, let us talk about the synergy between your agency and other agencies like road safety and the police. I know all of you are out there trying to control the traffic. So, tell us what kind of support and synergy have you established with these other agencies?
Part of the things I study from my interaction with the people who met on ground, one of the reasons they didn't do very well was that there was no synergy between the federal agencies and ASMA. So one of the things we did when we took over was to make sure we establish a cordial relationship between all federal agencies, especially the road safety, the civil defense. From time to time, I visit them, I have interaction with their leadership. So, take for instance, during the Christmas period, we work closely together, and whatever they needed to assist us in their own way, we provided our little we can to help see that we work together and work very well as a team. So, as of today, we are working very well with Federal Road Safety Agency. We are working well with the police. We are working well with the civil defense. So we establish that good relationship with them.
Do you also check car papers and the driver's license? Is it within your mandate?
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I said, our mandate is basically to ensure traffic flows, no obstruction on the road, safety on the road. It is not that.
So if anybody sees any of your officials trying to do this, I mean, check car papers, driver's license, they should alert that particular number.
They should alert us because we made it clear that that's not part of it. I think it has to do with the, what do you call it, road safety. Road safety. No, even road safety, they are not supposed to. Road safety is just like asthma. Is the people that wear white.
Okay, that's VIO.
VIO, that's the duty of VIO, checking whether the car is
are they supposed to be on the road? Because I know that there's a court order stopping them from being on the road. I mean the VIO.
No, I know that of road safety, federal road safety, that there was a court decision which have been decided. They are just asked to be on the federal road, not on state road. I'm not aware of that of VIO.
Okay, now let's talk about the issue of funding, because that has been a very critical issue to make sure that every agency is running. Tell us, what are you getting adequate funding? I know it's an agency of government, and you being an appointee of the governor, even if you're not getting enough funding, you may not want to open up. But tell us, are you getting enough funding for your agency to run in terms of welfare package for your men, and the salary and every other thing you require financially?
I'll answer it this way. I guess you've been here for the past 1 year or 2 years. Yeah. Have you been here? Have you seen our men on the road?
Yeah.
How do they look? Do they look neat or do they look as usual?
Well, I mean, Abians should have that.
No, I'm asking as a person.
They are still there. Some of them are still wearing the same.
No, they are wearing
the
yellow.
same.
And
the
saying,
same. Yeah.
Are they looking neat?
The same
are they
way
properly dressed?
The same way they were looking in the last administration. I think that's where they are.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Yeah, it's the same uniform.
The same uniform. The way they are looking, the ones that are looking old.
Okay.
They are still wearing the same one that is looking very old, even presently.
I don't think.
I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to mention where you can go and see them, but they are still there.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Well, I ask that question. If you look at them, they look neat. They're properly dressed. Where did that money come from? It comes from government. If you look at their power bike, each of their power bikes is about $1 million each.
Okay.
Yeah, we have about 20 of them now, which has helped us. Once you call, we respond quickly. We have vehicles. We have we have tow vans. Like now, I was called between thing and this thing, and within 20-30 minutes, there were 3 bikes that they were there.
Okay.
The small vehicle have been removed. We are working very hard to remove the other. People are there to control. What I'm saying, our response is adequate. And it's adequate because we have the facilities to move fast. I told you we are leveraging on technology. Anytime, even after this program, come to office, when you come to office, you see everything there. Rail line, you see people walking, everything there. You see the traffic flow. Okay, so we'll have enough fund. If you don't have enough fund, you cannot put that kind of show. If you don't have enough fund, can't see them looking neat. Like I told you, each of those bikes is about $1 million. We bought it from Innocent Motors.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are branded. We have the equipment, we have the cones, we have the basic things to require to monitor, to manage traffic. The basics, we got them. So we can give it. It's not a question of, I'm not a politician, so I don't come here to command. No, I'm not cut.
Are you owing any of your staff?
We are not owing. If there's anybody who says he's saying, let the person. We are not.
So you are up to date in terms of salary payment?
Up to date.
What about your towing van? Do you have enough?
We're not there. And you can never be, just like in your office here.
Yeah.
You can never get everything. And I don't think there's any organization in the world that you get everything. But like I said, the basics to start with.
Towing van should be a basic.
Yeah, we have them. That's what I'm saying.
You have?
We have. But we need many.
Okay.
Just like here. Some of the equipment, you have them. But you are not yet there. Okay? We have them.
So in a case where there's a car breakdown on the highway or on the road anywhere in Abia State, can you render help?
I'm just telling you one between thing and what do you call it? Somebody just called me.
Okay.
We've already moved the blockage on the road. It's the other bigger one we are working on. There are people now, when we remove the one that blocked the road, there are people controlling traffic. And when somebody comes within the 30 minutes, we are there.
Okay, I think so. Maybe if one car breaks down, you can call that same number.
Call that number.
The same number.
We'll respond.
Okay.
We'll respond.
Colonel, please, can you reel out the numbers again so that people can actually get acquainted with that number?
The number is 091 22 01 2233. Once again, 091 22 01 2233. The second number 091 22 01 2277. Once again 091 22 01 2277. Those two numbers, if there's obstruction, if there's an issue, if there's misbehavior, if there's extortion, call us on those number. And we can only serve you well if you let us know where we are not doing well.
All right. It's time for us to actually open the phone line so you can be part of the discussion we're having here in the studio. My guest is Colonel Ezechi Carlo, retired. He is the General Manager and the Chief Executive of Abia State Road Traffic and Safety Management Agency, the one we know as Timass. Now call us on 080-8182 6949 or 08116052949. I think our SMS line, you can actually send your messages on 09065108289. Still the scorecard edition of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. Hello? Okay, we lost that call there. Hello, good morning.
You are listed.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
General Manager, yes. Excellent is my name.
Welcome.
Have you seen the difference when between light and darkness? Have you seen? The man has explained everything. What administration didn't give any number. God. You see, I will foresee people are dying on the what? You see of them very at the state government. You see tickets of then at the state. If you ask them, they say not them to send them. Why else you arrest them? Arrest them, give a number. You see, God is God. I always tell people that God doesn't come late.
Okay.
God comes later. Give us latest news. The latest news is somebody is here now. When you are with fake, you don't know the difference between fake and original. So you get original.
Okay.
Original
Excellent.
They will call us when I come back. They're not bad. I come back. When the righteous is on the throne, that is the matter has been removed from their heart. Perpetually. Professor of mathematics.
Thank you.
Remember said, my brother.
Thank you so much for calling us there. Excellent. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, please, ideally, go do my.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning to our guest.
Good morning.
Yeah, please, sir, I would like to help your agency in your work. those bus stops, most of the bus stops you created are not conducive enough for tricycle operators and buses. I will suggest, take for example, the SMC junctions approaching the town. That place that Keke used to stop. If there's a kind of pavement done over the gutter, so that the Keke operators can drive into that open space. There's an open space there.
You mean FMC, right?
Yes,
I think that place
yes.
is always congested. That area.
Yeah, so those operators don't stop on the road on directly. The kind of pavement, something like a culvert, can be done across the gutter, whereby that empty space before the fence can be accessible, so that seconds can park there, bus can park there, at a long range, so that it will serve as a bus stop.
Okay. Thank you.
Likewise, at Umudike Junction, also, those things can be done there. Now, if you come to Abba Park, your man did a kind of a no parking to Abba Park gate. And you ask a question, those no parking, I hope they are not for tricycle operators, because I'm a tricycle business. That's why I'm asking, because I have people driving tricycle for me.
Okay.
So, I pray that you people should do those things, organize it very well. And your men should always use human face in discharge of their duties. They shouldn't be so arrogant and rude to people, because they don't know who is on the road.
Okay.
So, and again, your
have you experienced? Hold on. Have you experienced any kind of arrogance from the men of the?
Yes. So many times now, but not in recent times actually.
Okay.
Not in recent times actually.
Okay.
So right now also the fines attached to offenders should be minimal. The fines attached to offenders, people that offended the obstruction or whatever, should be minimal. At least tricycle operator 5,000 naira is okay.
Okay.
For any tricycle offense. For the vehicles, I don't know how much you can charge them. But
I hope you got the numbers, the toll numbers that I can actually call in case of any infraction.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry. The Colonel will repeat the numbers before we actually leave the studio. But you will react to what he just said, Colonel. But let's take this call first. Okay, 08081826949 or 08116052949. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Welcome.
My name is Mr. Charles.
I didn't get your name.
My name is Mr. Charles.
Okay, Mr. Charles. Kindly move away from your radio set.
I'm calling from Omar.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Please, I want to ask a question. I'm a tricycle operator.
Okay.
All the way from Bank Road, do we have any bus stop? Especially if somebody carrying passengers. If a passenger want to drop in a particular bank. So one of their men used to be stopped.
Where exactly? Where exactly?
Do we have any bus stop along Bank Road?
Bank Road, okay. Okay.
Do we have bus stop where tricycles
can
supposed
stop
to park and drop passenger or pick passenger?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Greg.
Move away from your radio set.
Hello.
Move away from your radio
Hello?
set. Okay. Maybe you call us back. But let me return to you, Colonel. You heard what some of our callers, the questions they raised there. I would like you to react to some of them.
Okay. You talked about Umodike Junction. You talk about FMC. You talk about fine. If you look very well, there's a bus stop. What they used to do before at that corner, you see them blocking road. Now what we've done, you could see their cones. If you look very well, there are cones there, and the tape. What we did was to move after that corner. You now you discover that there's no longer congestion along that area because we've put no parking sign there, and we put our men there, and we ask them to park down a little bit down. You could see there's a pickup and dropping this thing there. So that issue, unless if you are not watching very, if you go there now, you see that nobody is parking at that corner. We directed people to go down a little bit down. So we made provision for people to park there. But the problem now is that they wouldn't obey the instructions.
That's why you're there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's much you can do. Take for instance, there are two. You move them that side, you see a lot of them. And if you go there, what you see is that line up within the car park, pick your personal, drop your personal, and go away. So we are doing our best. At least for now, there's no more traffic congestion within that area. We've moved them down. The something with FMC. FMC, like Raleigh say, you move the traders across the distance. You leave there, they will come back again. Okay. I
think he was suggesting you make a kind of pavement across that the drainage there, so as to enable the tricyclist or the motorist to move in there and drop passengers.
We are going to do that. We are going to do that. Like I said, what we did, we put cone there and put tape to enable them to going through that distance.
Can you do same thing at Umudike Junction? Maybe put a kind of pavement that will make lead them into that small area there, so that they can park, because that place, it's a sharp bend.
It is.
So you need to. I don't know what you are going to do there, but
they are no longer parking there, no doubt about that. They are parking a little bit down there, but like I said, there's nothing wrong putting pavement, which in the first and second quarter would have achieved that aim.
Somebody asked about Bank Road. Do you have any bus stop along that Bank Road?
Remember, that place is so tight. The road is very narrow. So there's nothing really one can do. Both sides are so narrow. You can't afford to create this thing again. That means you are going to create more obstruction. People coming to bank are parking, and then if you put this thing there, but only if there could be a little bit discipline. There's nothing wrong moving by the side, but you just see them stopping at the middle of the road. That is the issue.
Somebody asked about your men being a bit. They should remove being arrogant. He said it and reduce, maybe give a human face to your activities with the motorists.
Like I told you before, when we started to say, we did first and foremost was try and reorientate them. It takes a little bit time from somebody who has formed the habit, especially those of them that are from the old order. So it takes a little bit of time. We'll keep on repeating ourselves. Look, we are not there to harass people. Put a little bit of human face, like he said. But I think there's a lot of improvement. We're not yet there, like I said.
Let's take another call. Hello? Good morning.
Hello?
Move away from your radio set, please.
Yes, I'm already up.
Good morning.
I'm already up.
Good morning. Welcome. Good morning, Loma.
Good morning, our guest in the house.
Thank you.
Loma, the prophet from Umaya. Please, somebody asked a question, and I want to let our guests know. Please, let there be no thing like bus stop along that bank road. Even look at the walkway there. The walkway there is not all that enough. So, what they are doing is good, but you need reorientation of your men. You need to let them know that the present administration is a refined administration. Let them do their work with due diligence. Let them not do it like Agboro people. So please, let there be no bus stop along that area. Let people just go down to Paraguay and do whatever they want to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Loman the Prophet. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Guinean.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Ugonna Eric. I am calling you from Omajata in Olokoro.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, I appreciate what is being done so far. Especially roads are being, rehabilitated and painted by the media and then the street lights. But then, I understand, coming from a city, that road infrastructure, is part of beautification. There are things called bus shelters that could be beautified and kept on places. It doesn't make a place bus stop. There's nothing there. Find a way to intensify fanciful, bus shelters and create them. Beautify the street. Number two, some of the men and women that are, the traffic men and women, the sun is too much. Sometimes it rains. They should be found, built little shelters that are also good on the road. You don't stand under the blazing sun and be, doing the traffic and all that. Let's find a way to make these people a little comfortable so that they don't get agitated or because they are standing under sun and under rain. Because So let's make it easier for them.
Okay.
And as I like the suggestion of the other guy, when offenders are caught, please, the fine should be reasonably affordable. It's not 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 for a operator.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ugonna Eric. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, our guest.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Radio Senator calling from Government College, Umar.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, please, there was an ugly incident I saw yesterday, and please, I will really advise that you set up teams that will monitor all the activities of CAF in a wire, so that they will not destroy the image of your organization. And it's some group of boys or 3 or 4 of them I saw yesterday at Uzak on the road, trying to remove plate number of some vehicles, and those people react. They said they are that they send them for revenue.
Did you say that they are from Timass?
They say they are Timass. They put up the apron that they are removing this. So those people now hijack them, telling them that this present government is not for house. And for that reason, they should go and call their list. In fact, if you see what happened yesterday and there, I wasn't satisfied. So please, I'm still begging.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I think you've made your point. You have that. You know, I asked about this South thing and your relationship with them. Somebody has actually pointed it out again. What are you going to do in this regard?
I understand what he's talking about. First of all, let me talk about somebody talking about providing shelter. What we've done, knowing fully well that there's no way you can stand there from morning till night.
Okay.
We created 2 shifts. You start from morning, by 2 you're off, and that person takes over.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you will not be there from morning till evening. You will not be a human being. So that's how we sorted that issue. It's not possible for us to build shelter, but we are aware that it's also not possible for you to stay till morning till night.
Okay.
Now, talking about South, not just that was calling. If you are going to Ohofia through Bendere,
Okay.
you see some people are normally challenging. You see some people out there, they see them labor, but they do not belong to government. We try as well. We are trying our best to make sure that we get them off the road. So, with them, I'm sure we'll definitely get them off the road. They are not part of Timass. They are not part of government agencies.
And in case someone sees them, harassing people, what should be done?
If you see them harassing people, if you can call us
in the name of Timass.
No, just call us on that line. We'll respond.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll respond.
Okay, now let's go over to our SMS line. This one is coming from Chinedu from Bausi. He said, I just appreciate the good works of the current boss of Timass. He's doing in Abia State. So I saw them controlling traffic on Aba-Port Harcourt Express Road on Monday, where a trailer fell, and that helped in saving lives on the busy road. Thank you so much, Chinedu. This one is also coming from Andy Nomwahe. He said, sir, talking about monitoring, 2 of your men were seen at Aba Park Umwahe yesterday taking alcohol while on uniform. Did you see them on your screen?
It depends on where we are. Remember, I told you they have not covered the whole room. I was saying that so far we've done, we are not yet there.
So, in case anybody sees them?
If you see such a situation, just call us. We'll get the person arrested. Not just arresting, we'll dismiss the person.
All right. Okay, on our Facebook page, this one is coming from Chinedu Joseph. He said, I observed that men of Timass in the recent time have improved in the recent times, unlike before. Kudos to the new management. Thank you. Ezeka Elvis said, watching and texting from Umwa, he said, Abia Timass should checkmate their daily activities because lots of Abians are really complaining about unprofessionalism, bad behavior, and too much extortion towards citizens. Let's live peace and let's live in peace and harmony. Thank you so much, Ezeka Elvis. Prince Chukwumobi said, currently, these Timass are illegally collecting money from Abians, and soon the results will come out. It appears that you still have some pockets of all these issues of extortion here and there, and you have a whole lot to do in this regard, Conan.
Like I said, I insist that most of this food does not belong to our organization. Have any of them mentioned that they saw uniform people starting money? They are in uniform. including the enforcement team. That's why we wanted to avoid such a situation where people will be in mufti and get and stop money. They say it's asthma. That's why the enforcement team will give them uniform with their number there.
So once they are not wearing your uniform, they are not part of it.
Yeah, and remember, there are local government people also
that will wear apron and put it Timass.
Yeah. No, some of them, they don't even wear these things. So, like I told you some few minutes ago, that I had a meeting with the mayor. We are trying to sit down to avoid some of those things. Okay? So anybody that is not in uniform is not Timass. So they are mistaking those who are starting another from local government, or those who say, oh, we are Labour Party or that. Timass adults, they are in uniform. Anybody extorting money if he's not in uniform, it's not my part of my organization.
Colonel,
we are conscious of that. That's why I insisted that let us give uniform to everybody in order to avoid, those who are extorting money from outside our organization. So definitely they are not from Timass.
Colonel, I don't know if the state government carry your agency along in terms when they are, doing these roads. The road project they are doing everywhere, especially within the main town, so that you are supposed to design a place where motorists should, bus stops, that's exactly what I'm talking about, bus stops, when they are building these roads. Do they carry you along so that you can say, okay, this should be for bus stop, maybe they should create a kind of space within that area? Because the roads, if you go to Zoakoli Road, that place is so disorderly. I don't know if there are bus stops there and some other places.
Exactly, the place you're calling exactly from the
from EC Gate.
Okay.
Towards
cooperative.
Exactly. That's
Yeah. We'll be having an issue there. We're having a meeting with them. What we intend to do is to mark that road. We only have one side packed, not parking both sides. We are working on that. Okay. But like I said, we don't want to do things the way they were doing before. Okay. Normally, we need to make sure that we put structures in place before we enforce. We are talking to them. We've gone around. We are going to mark that place. Once we mark it, we'll only see one side packed so that there will be enough space for people. What they are having now, they are parking on both sides. They are flooding and loading. That offloading and loading, I think there's an executive order from the mayor of Abia North now. Nobody should unload during the daytime. I think they're enforcing that. So gradually we'll get there.
Okay, before we go, Connor, let's get down those numbers again, because I'm sure that Abians will want to have that numbers again. You have two numbers already. Let's see if we can get them before we leave the studio, so that Abians can actually get acquainted with that particular, the numbers to get.
Okay, the numbers again: 091 220 122 33. Once again, 091 220 122 33. The second number: 091 22 01 22 77. 091 220 122 77. Those are the two numbers. So call us on those two numbers. Where we are not doing well, call us and let us know. That's the only way we can serve you better. So call us when you see any of our men misbehaving. Call us on that number. But I would like you people to note that all our people from our agencies, they are in uniform. Anybody that is not in uniform, that means it's not part of our agency. So I don't want people to mix up people from our agencies and either local government or people that are extorting money from people. We've trained our people. We've fed them what we want them to do, what we don't want them to do, and we are very, very strict when it comes to discipline.
All right. Colonel Ezichi Carlo, retired, the General Manager and Chief Executive of Abia State Road Traffic and Safety Management Agency. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you. I just hope that you find time to come again, because Abians really want to have continuous interaction with you. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, thank you for having me.
All right.
And thank you for listening.
All right, thank you. To all of you who called in and who sent in your messages, thank you so much. May God bless you. My name is Ginika Olwaha. The show returns on Friday at 10 a.m. The platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. That's what we call it here on Flow 94.9 FM. Sincere thanks to Stanko and Charles, the guys behind the camera. To my producer, Samson Eze, God bless you. I'll see you again. Good morning.